everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So I very vividly remember the month, almost a year of hype for Brave when it came out. Because, you know, when the teaser started coming out with Meredith with her bow and the bear and all that stuff that was coming out, people were, you know, hyping this up. This was going to be one of the biggest Pixar/Disney movies that has ever been made. And the hype was so big that I was like, my God, how big is this thing going to be? And then the movie came out, and it was subjugated to what I can almost describe as an anti-hype. People were pissed. Many people thought that this was an absolute failure, and people really didn't like it. And I don't know, I kind of get what people coming from when they're talking about that, and I can also understand why people thought that this was a game changer in how you would make Disney movies/Pixar movies. And I'm not saying that any of them technically are wrong. I kind of fall somewhere in between with a little bit more positive feelings towards this movie, but this is a movie that had a lot of potential and could have been, with a couple of tweaks, a very, very good movie. But they didn't do that, and that's fine. But let's find out what they missed and what they got right. This is my review of Brave. Are in a fairy tale version of Scotland. They never explicitly say that it is Scotland, but considering, you know, the music and the accent, yeah, this is pretty much Scotland. So we have these four clans who historically have, you know, been fighting each other over control, but they settled their differences and chose Fergus as their king. But it was under a condition. The firstborn of Fergus is going to have to marry one of the princes of the other clans, and the firstborn of Fergus is of course Meredith. And Meredith isn't too pleased with the whole thing of, you know, getting married and that she isn't allowed to control her destiny and stuff like that. And there is a lot of bickering between her and the Ice Queen, her mother Eleanor, played by Emma Thompson. And I will say this, I really like the interactions between those, because the verbal sparring battles between them were a little bit more spicy and had a little bit more oomph to them than what usually was, you know, when it comes to these types of movies. Well, Fergus, he's basically just a big kid who sits around and wants to have a good ale and a mutton and just wants everybody to get along and ha ha ha, this is fun. And mostly want to talk, you know, old stories about how he lost his leg to Mardu. We'll get to him in a second. Anyway, so in an act of desperation, Meredith comes across a witch. Now, this witch technically isn't this movie's villain, that's Mardu, but we'll get to him in a little bit. The thing is that she hopes that, you know, she's going to be able to persuade her mother to change her way with the help of a magic cake, but the thing sort of kind of misfires. Now, at this point in the movie, like 35 minutes in or something like that, I thought this movie was absolutely excellent. I thought it was funny, I thought it was creative, I thought the characters were really, really interesting and entertaining, the comedy was good, the drama was good, the discussions and the bickerings between mother and daughter were really interesting and could really have, you know, gone somewhere. I thought, we are cooking here. But then the movie takes a sort of left turn where it probably should have taken a right turn, and we are left with a very bare bones skeleton crew of characters, and we have lost basically all the really entertaining and colorful bits, and it is a little dry and it is a little boring. And this is the part of the movie where I think most people kind of got a little bit, oh, god damn it, we were doing so well and now we're doing this. I'm not going to spoil whatever it is, but they recovered at least a little bit towards the finale of the movie. The third act is kind of fun, but the climax of the movie was a little bit, that was okay. This is because of Mardu. Now, Mardu is the bear that in the beginning of the movie attacked the family, and Fergus defended them, but he lost his leg in the battle, and, you know, he has been aching for, you know, some good old-fashioned a sword or spear-based revenge on said bear. Now, Margot is of course gonna come back at some point in the story, but the thing is that he is the dullest, most boring villain you could ever hope to find in a Disney/Pixar movie. He's just a bear. He's a bear that wants to kill people, and that can work in a movie like The Edge, for instance. But here it's just eh? He's also tied into the fairy tale and mythological thing in the movie, which I thought they could have done a lot of great things with. They just chosen not to do that. They could have created a very interesting and dynamic fairy tale with this thing, because they have a lot of backstory to work with. But instead they were trying to do something half and half. It's not actually a fairy tale in the classical way, and it is not really a gripping adventure drama thingy. It's somewhere in between. It's a hodgepodge of good ideas that prevents neither of the idea to really flourish. But the movie looks fantastic. The animations are fantastic and flawless. And as I said, the characters were very interesting, and I love the design of them. It is very photorealistic, very, very exaggerated, yes, but these very photorealistic landscapes and these designs of the characters and the angles and the quote-unquote cinematography made me realize that this really didn't need to be an animated movie. After all, this movie could have easily been a live action movie that could have looked fantastic and spectacular, and it could have done something truly magnificent with it. But now we are stuck with this movie, and it is a really good movie. The funny bits are funny, the dramatic things are dramatic. I like the soundtrack of the movie. The songs actually made some sense for once, and I like the ending of the whole thing. It was something different, and at the time pretty unusual for Disney to do. But it is not up to the task of trying to challenge some of the best Pixar movies when it comes to the quality of the movie. It cannot touch movies such as Toy Story, Toy Story 2, or Coco, or Up, or nor Inside Out or its sequel. But it is a good movie. It has a pretty good pace, even though the middle of the movie, it is a bit of a slog to get through, and there's a lot of things that does not happen in that movie that could have happened. And this is a minor complaint I'm going to have. It's not going to impact the rating of this movie whatsoever, but I find it a little bit insane, the fact that Meredith falls a solid, what was it, 8 meters or something like that, and nothing to break her fall except a solid stone floor, and she says, "I'm okay." How are you okay? You took a Cactus Jack bump and you refuse to sell it. Sell the damn fall, damn it. Brave is a different and entertaining movie, but it will not leave a big impact on you. But it looks good and it absolutely holds up. And what can I say? I think that the critics of it have kind of missed what is good about it, and those who praise it and raise it to the sky overlook some of the flaws that it has. But I think that it is a movie that deserves to, get at least one chance to impress you. Maybe it will impress you. I don't know. Brave is good and solid entertainment, and it gets 72 points. I really like the characters in the movie, and when we have all the characters doing their wacky nonsense, then it is really, really fun and it is entertaining. Then at bits it can be a bit boring and a bit dry, and some stuff doesn't quite work as good as it could have had, and I wish that they could have incorporated more of the fairy tale folklore part of the whole thing, but you can't have everything, can you? Anyway, I do recommend this movie. It's not the best thing that Disney has ever trotted out, but it's far from anything bad. So what do you think about Brave? Comment below, and I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.